welcome to the Infinite Way, where spirituality meets humanity. And I am so excited to bring forward to you a beautiful young lady named Manisha, who hails from India. And Manisha is 19 years old, and she's a child rights and earth rights advocate. She served as Prime Minister of YASH Children's Parliament at PRATYeK, Nine is Mine, in the year of 2020, working on the climate change platform called Inclusive Youth Negotiation. And presently, she is a college student at Delhi University. Welcome, Manisha.
Thank you for inviting me here. It's a great pleasure to be a part of this interview.
Oh, I'm so excited to have you here. Now, I want to share with our audience where we met. I met you at the speaking event as a fellow speaker at Divya in Ellenabad, India.
Yes,
And you spoke there about child's rights and advocacy.
yes.
Wow. So it's so exciting to get to meet you peer to peer and then to have you on here. So I want to go all the way back. I want to go back to when you were a little girl. There you are a little girl with your family. What is it that motivated you to want to do child's rights?
Okay, so like my brother used to go at NGO called PRATYeK, which runs a national campaign, as you said, Nine is Mine. And I saw my brother doing circus art, which took my interest, like circus art where you do juggle and use unicycles. The sir came from Austria who used to teach them about circus arts, and it took my interest and I joined it because it was like fun to do circus art. But later on, I got to know about child rights. So there's something called child rights, where you know your rights. I don't know before that we have rights. And then it got I got involved in this because they started doing child rights and made a children's parliament. And it took my interest because where we can speak about our problems, and we can talk about our problems to not adults, to children, because we can relate our problems to them. And where we solve a lot of problems related to children's, like we struggle for our basic rights like water, clean water, and sanitation and education. Like in our communities, because we belong to slum areas, so it is difficult to maintain sanitation. And in the morning, if you want to go school, the adults are also using that same toilet for going jobs and all. So we used to get late for our schools, so we started asking for child friendly toilets in our neighborhood, and we fought for it, and we write letters to our NDMC, which is used to do work for construction and all. And like this, I got involved in this.
So that is an amazing story. And can I ask you, how did you actually organize the children? How did the children organize?
So Pratik has teach us about how to advocate for your rights. So they said we can make children's parliament where a group of children can discuss their problems, and we started discussing our problems. And later on came with the idea that we can do rallies. We can go our communities and talk to them, or we can go at ministers to talk to them, or we can write our manifestos to them, like children's manifesto, that we want change in these things. So like this we started doing.
And did they hear you? They heard everything that you had to say? Did they respond the way that you expected them to respond?
Yeah, they made toilet there in our community, but it's not useful because it's locked. I don't know why. Sometimes they listen, sometimes they don't. But we didn't stop here only, but like we have to ask for again and again.
Okay, okay. So having this kind of experience, how do you think it shaped your life in the course of studies that you wanted to pursue?
So right now, as you know, I am doing a BA program in philosophy and political science. So it's a children's parliament, and we also have our national parliament of India, and like we need change in that also. So it took my interest in politics. So I started choosing that political science because of this.
Now, I just want to pause here for a moment because when I saw you speak at the Divya conference in Ellenabad, and for those of you who don't know what the Divya conference is, it's a youth leadership conference that's held. And I attended the second annual one. You held yourself with such poise and such eloquence. And I was just like amazed because there are adults who couldn't speak as well as you. Have you been speaking a long time? And if so, like how many years has it been that you've been speaking? Because you're only 19.
So when I was like 13 or 14, I start speaking, but as I can tell you, I was not that spokeful person. Like I get shy when I speak to public, but like if you have a group of children which give you support that you can speak, go ahead. We have to speak for our rights, not only for our rights, for other rights who cannot speak. So you have to speak for their rights and go up and speak. So they encourage us to speak up.
Wow. And what was the first topic that you ever spoke on?
I spoke on like first thing we started speaking about rights of children. What are basic rights? It's like going to play, how we need time for playing, except then studying, always studying. We need time for play also. So like speaking about rights of children that we need right now, like parents used to force you for study, right? This is your time to study, not get to involve like child rights things. So
Mhm.
child rights is important because people don't know about child rights. Even I also don't know about child rights. When I get to know about child rights, that it is important. We only think that education is important. You have to study, 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 study. You don't know about rights, you cannot speak about rights, and you have to follow your parents instructions. So when you get to know about child rights, you can specify things that it is wrong, it is not wrong, so you can speak about your rights.
Beautiful, beautiful. What was the hardest topic that you ever had to advocate for when it came to child's rights?
Child marriage which was happening in our community, so we
Okay.
have to go against our parents because they don't support. Like if you get against your parents who are supporting you to do something good, but if you go against your parents, they don't support you because it's because you can get involved to harmful things, like you can get involved with police. And getting involved with police, it's really big thing. So if you go and ask for child rights is happening, your parents will think that you should not go to these things, taking risk and getting involved to police things, like, so which is really difficult to go against your parents and fight for your rights. So one of the biggest thing was stopping child rights, and we did it and we get successful because we stopped it, and because of the peer support, because of children support, and also the support from Pratik.
So, what was the actual issue? Just getting married at an early age, or was it just arranged marriages?
It was arranged marriage because their parents thought that she should get married at early age to get burden relief. So I don't know, we got to know about from one of our fellow members that someone is going to marry at very early age, which is not right. And then we started discussing what we can do for it, and we started coming up with the idea doing rallies, skits, and we went to that community doing slogans, stop child marriage and you will get punished if you do child marriage of a child. And later on, one of our coordinator got called that we won't do our child marriage and we will stop it, and which was a successful story for all of us because this is the first time we stopped child marriage.
That's phenomenal. That's phenomenal. And the reason that I'm asking you these questions is because child marriage in India isn't the only place where this is taking place. I know here I am in Angola, and I know that child marriages do take place here. And you're right; it's not right for a 12-year-old or a 13-year-old to be married that age. They're still a child, and it's just not right. So I really take my hat off to you, and I am excited that you're here because I want other children to hear your message and to hear your story, as well as other adults who are afraid to take the speaking stage. It's very, very important for them to do that. So, The other part of this that I wanted you to share is that you are also an earth advocate. You want to tell us a little bit more about that?
Yes, we I was the former Minister of Climate. We also work on SDGs, Sustainable Development Goals. So the Children's Parliament members are also minister of each SDGs. So like this, we started doing something for our Mother Earth, and we got inspired by Greta Thunberg, who started this movement Fridays for Future, and we did in India our own climate gree, which is inspired by also Gandhism, where you can do rallies in peaceful manners, where we used to do circus art and beatboxing, all the children's things which can gain attention of adults, and then later on doing speech about mother earth, doing rallies, how it is important to take care of our mother earth, because we have only one planet and we all should love it and take care of it.
So everything that I've ever learned about taking care of the earth, number one thing is to learn to live in balance with the earth, which is that if you enter a part of the earth and it has no garbage, then when you leave that part of the earth, it should have no garbage. If you choose to live there, it should have no garbage. And I know I highlight this, especially where I'm living too, that garbage is a major issue. People just open up things and they throw the trash on the ground, or the fact that when you go to the beaches and the water is just trailing back the trash that was thrown into it. How do we educate our children better and our adults better for stopping some of these bad habits?
So it is a really big issue. People know only about planet when it comes to, like, we have to say planet. They think like plantation, or not throwing garbage on the road, or not wasting water. They just think that's it. And if we want to do some good habits, we have to refuse things using. I mean, you have to refuse most of the things which is giving you pleasure, like eating chips, which is comes under plastic cover, and other things which are also coming on the plastic covers. Like, we first thing what we can do is refuse, then the 4 R's, that refuse, recycle, and reuse. If you practice these things, it will help you to reduce our problems of climate.
Beautiful, beautiful. So, how long have you been an advocate for the earth?
Earth, we started in 2018, 2018, or sorry, 2019, I guess, when Greta started speaking about it, and we also used to do things. But then we thought there is something called climate, which is a really important part of our Earth. I mean, like, child rights, also with child rights, there is important of Earth rights, because we need planet, then our rights come. So first we need to take care about our planet, then we can speak about our child rights. So
Beautiful.
if planet is safe, then our rights are also safe.
So, what message would you really have to say to everybody out there regarding the planet, then, if you had the opportunity to just share from your heart?
So I just want to say that if you get a chance to save our mother earth, just do it. Just refuse things and do that 4 R's, like refuse, recycle, and reuse, and tell others that your small initiative can make a big change. If you stop using plastic, or stop using like jute bags and other things, alternatives of plastic, so you can make a good change. A little thing can make a change. So don't think that if you only do, then things will get changed. Like, little by little you can make a big change.
I so agree with you. And you know what? I just want to highlight this to our audience. Here it is, a 19-year-old is able to articulate beautifully exactly what needs to take place to save our Mother Earth. Why is it that we as adults aren't leading by example? So, therefore, when you feel that moment that you want to throw that piece of garbage on the street, don't. Find a garbage can, hold on to it, and find one. holding on and saving water is real. There are some people who can only get limited amounts of water, and there we are. We waste it. We just let it run. We don't think about the fact that there are others who can barely get a hold of it, you know, or just get a limited amount of it, and that there are people who are going thirsty right now. So you know what? We have the opportunity to just develop the habits that we know are good, and then also pass that to our children so that the children don't have to start with the bad habits and come to good habits, but have good habits coming out of the starting gate. So I share that with everyone. And Manisha, you know, I want to thank you, and I want you to share what you would want everyone to know about child rights advocacy also, or anything that you would want to share about child rights.
So one thing about child rights, like you think adults are not listening you. So you can form your own groups where you can discuss about your problems. You can start making children's parliament where you will find your leader, and like in you have your prime minister, deputy prime minister, and also we also do things independently, though we are part of PRATYeK. So which children used to collect our own funds to do our own things like making poster, doing rallies. So we need things to do, so we use our own funds to do things. So you have to be independent. You should make your own groups to fight for your own problems.
Beautiful, beautiful. So I am so grateful to have you on, Manisha. I want to thank you so much for sharing from your heart and letting us know what type of work you do and how you impact the world. It has a truly significant impact to the world. And I'm so grateful to have you. How can people get in contact with you, or other youth get in contact with you, if they wanted to talk more about how to create a organization or a movement in their area?
So they can follow like our page, that is Yash Children's Parliament, and also they can follow us on Instagram where you can find Nine is Mine campaign and also PRATYeK NGO. So you can follow there and you can get contact with me.
Perfect. And then I'm going to ask you for all your social media links also. So when this goes out, then we can say that it's right in the description right there, so that if anybody wants to get a hold of you and wants to get a hold of the organizations that you work with, that they can. Is there anything else you want to say, or any last words you want to say to our audience?
I just want to thank you them for hearing my speech or my things to them, or want them to get involved in child rights and earth right, do something for your own problems.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And please never stop doing what you're doing. And we will be in contact again. So thank you so much, Manisha.
Thank you.
Okay. Bye.